Other guys, Dave here. I thought I'd do a Bushcraft kit loadout to go over what I brought with me for my solo overnight. It's the next morning, so I've already done my solo overnight, and I'm just going to go through the gear that I brought so you guys can see what I actually took with me on this trip. So first up, I got my Miltech 36 liter Molly Assault pack. It's a cheap backpack, but it's pretty good for doing a trip like this. And this is empty right now. I have everything else all laid out. You know, I brought my, as far as cook set goes, I got my stainless steel mug, stainless steel water bottle, another liter of water just in that bottle, and I have a pot, stainless steel pot, which has my breakfast in it. Still working on that one with a spoon. As far as the little stuff goes, I have a little toiletry bag with like some contact solution because I'm wearing contacts, toilet paper, baby wipes, a neck warmer, and also this is my pillow. It's just like one of those bath pillows that you get at the dollar store. They pack down really small, and it's just a nice little bit of a cushion, something cheap that works half decent. One bungee, my cordage, paracord and jute twine, a headlamp, cheap headlamp and cheap flashlight. I just threw these in my bag because I could grab them. I brought a ferro rod, a sharpening stone, and a piece of a leather belt for stropping, which I didn't use, but this is a 600 grit diamond stone. A first aid kit with a space blanket in it, a bear spray, a cap gun. I use the cap gun as a bear deterrent as well, so if I see a bear I can shoot this a few times and they usually take off. I use one of these stainless steel scrubs to clean my pots. I brought a book to read. I brought a portable charger to charge my cell phone. Some miscellaneous cooking things like coffee, sugar, salt, pepper, a fork. This used to be butter, trail mix, some granola bars, chocolate, that sort of stuff. For my dinner, I had rice mixed with trail mix with some butter and 3 hot dogs in it. For my cutting tools, I brought my EDC knife that I personally made myself, which has white G10 handles. It's a 1/8 thick, 2-inch blade, nice sharp spine. And you know, this worked perfectly fine. I actually didn't really miss having a bigger knife on this trip at all. And that's probably because I brought a half decent axe. This is my restored axe, which is probably a 1 pound like hatchet head on a 19-inch handle. Kind of going for something like the Grants Forest Brooks small forest axe, but you know, this is a restored axe that I made myself. And just a bow saw. This is probably an older bow saw. It might even be like a Stanley bow saw. Yeah, you can get these things for like 20 bucks and they're beasts. These things will saw better than any, you know, folding saw out there really. And you can do a lot of work with a bow saw, way more than you can with any folding saw, like any small folding saw. You can't do nearly as much work as you can with one of these guys. I also have a cheaper sleeping bag and an old like Thermarest sleeping pad, which I put on top of my raised bed. You know, it's what I have to work with right now. I probably will be upgrading the sleeping bag and upgrading the sleeping pad eventually when I got the money to do so. You know, I brought rain gear, sweatshirt, that sort of stuff. One of these pads. This is a dollar store foam pad, probably for like painting or cleaning. And I love this thing. This is my sit pad and my knee pad. When I'm just working on the ground, I can just slip it, and it, you know, it helps with your knees. It's actually really nice to have that. As far as the tarp goes, it's a 10 by 12 tarp, and it's just it's a cheap tarp that I got off of Amazon for like 12 bucks. So, you know, the theme of this trip is that, you know, I don't have a brand name knife. I don't have a brand name axe. I don't have a brand name saw. I don't have a brand name tarp. I have a cheap sleeping bag. I have a Thermarest, which is brand name, but the gear that I brought with me, like none of it's expensive. None of it's brandy. You know, I don't have like Grants Forest Brooks. I don't have any fancy knives. This is to show that you can do a lot with with some inexpensive gear. Uh, you know, I made my own knife that, that does cost some money, but you can still get a Mora and the restored axe. You can always go with a Fisker's axe, and then the bow saw. Just get a Stanley bow saw. They're like $20 for like, I don't know, a 30-inch blade bow saw, and that's going to be better than your backhoe Laplander, which is almost like $35 Canadian. So yeah, I mean the backhoe Laplander is okay, but you can't do like sawing with that little saw all day. Like if you're trying to build stuff, you're just gonna die. Like your arms will just give out because that saw is tiny, So if you guys want to do some bushcraft camping stuff, like I really do suggest trying to get a buck saw or a bow saw of some sort, and then you can get you can make your own axe, a restored axe, and make it how you want. I purchased that handle at like Home Hardware. It's a 19-inch handle, and I had a hatchet head, and I just put the handle on it, and there you go. I got like this in-between pack axe now that's totally mine, and no one else has one. And my other axe that I use is also a restored axe with a heavier head and a little bit longer of a handle. So I don't even have a brand name axe. I have a Fisker's like X7 little hatchet, but I don't have a brand name axe. I have some brand name knives and some backpacks and some other gear, but you don't need to be going out and getting like crazy expensive with this stuff. This is a pretty cheap setup, and it was awesome. I had a great time. I made a bed, I made a fire reflector, I had a fire all night, and I got to sleep in the woods. So I really hope that you like this video. I hope that you go check out the solo overnight of me actually doing this, and all the fun stuff that I did along with that. So this is Dave from BC Bushcraft. I hope you guys have a great day.